Hi guys, it's Rampant FM, and today we are going to be doing a Europa League qualifying preview of the teams from Scotland. First of all, we'll start with Aberdeen, who have obviously a proud history in Europe, winning the 1983 Cup Winners' Cup under Alex Ferguson. They play Burnley, obviously a Premiership team. It's going to be difficult for them, I believe, but to be honest, Burnley are quite a formidable team. Obviously, they've been brilliant under Sean Dyche. But I think Aberdeen have a chance. I really do. I think if you look at Burnley, they're not exactly, in fairness to them, they're not exactly like a Tottenham or a Liverpool. It really depends on the first leg. I think if Aberdeen can get a decent result at Pittodrie on Thursday, I think they might have a chance. I mean, Burnley, their home record is pretty decent, but again, looking at the two teams, I think obviously Kenny McLean finally moving to Norwich. He obviously was bought from Norwich in January, and now he's finally moved on because he was loaned back to Aberdeen. They brought in Don Ball again on loan. I think one thing that would worry me about Aberdeen is their strength and depth coming into this season. They don't seem to have a lot of depth like they did. Ryan Christie's obviously went back to Celtic. But Burnley, the spending power they have compared to a Scottish team's obviously different levels, but again, Burnley, to me, although they have done brilliantly under Sean Dyche and they are a Premiership team, they can be beat. Aberdeen have the knowledge of European football in the last two, three seasons, and they know what it's all about. And Burnley, that was the first time they qualified for Europe in 52 years, so that could be a huge advantage for Aberdeen. It's a difficult one, but I will probably go with Burnley to go through. I really hope Aberdeen can pull off something, pull a miracle. The Battle of Britain games, especially in Europe, are often quite fun. But I wouldn't expect them to run away with it, such as obviously Tottenham, Hearts a few years ago. Obviously Tottenham were just probably the better team. I'm expecting a close one. I really am. I think it will be close. I think Aberdeen might do Scotland proud, but I think Burnley are probably more likely the favourites to go through. So we'll move on to Rangers. Obviously, they again have a proud history in European football, winning the Cup Winners' Cup in 1972 and obviously getting to the UEFA Cup final in 2008. They didn't impress me against Skopje, the Macedonian team, in the first qualifying round. They were a bit lacklustre. They really were. I think they play the Croatian team, who I'm not really. I think it's Osijek. I don't really know too much about them, to be honest. From what I've gathered, they are a fairly decent team and probably much better than Skopje, but Rangers really need to up their game now, especially being so lacklustre. Morelos has had a lot of stick come his way. I know it's early pre-season, but they really need to up their game. Gerrard needs to get a grip of the guys and say, look, we need to be better in the final third. It's going to be a difficult one for Rangers. I really hope they go through. Obviously, I support Rangers, so yeah, that's one of the reasons I want them to do well. But I mean, they don't look like they are gelling quite as well. I know it's still quite early pre-season, but it's going to be a tough one to call. I hope Rangers obviously go through, but I really don't know. There's a lot of uncertainty about certain players, whether some are going to leave, some are going to come in. It's going to be a difficult one for Rangers because bringing any sort of new players in, it's always going to take some time to gel, and I think we saw that. Although some of the guys obviously have been there longer than others, they really need to get sort of focused and what if we are going to sort of go through to the third qualifying round or even get to the Europa League. Finally, we come on to Hibs, who play Asteras of Greece. Funny enough, Asteras have actually qualified for the Europa League on a couple of occasions, something that Scottish team's not done since it's changed from the UEFA Cup. It's going to be very difficult for Hibs, I believe. They weren't, although they had sort of a cricket scoreline against the Faroe Islands team NSI. Yeah, Asteras are going to be a much better competitor. Obviously, there's been speculation over the future of John McGinn, who played in the last game.
It's probably unsettling for Hibs to have their better players linked to other clubs. Obviously, Stevie Malin was a fantastic signing for them. It'll be interesting. They really need to improve defensively, though. Against a much better side, really. Hibs, I'd like them to sort of maybe get through, but I think it's going to be a challenge. I think we could probably say that maybe 1, 2, if not all, of the Scottish teams might be out at this stage, because I think it's going to be a challenge for all of them. It really is. I mean, even Rangers playing the way they did, I just it's a difficult one, guys. Obviously, we should be better. We should be playing better. I think, obviously, on paper, you're probably saying that Aberdeen, Burnley is probably going to be the one where Aberdeen are going to be such underdogs that they should get put out. But I wouldn't rule out Hibs and Rangers going out at this stage as well. I hope not. Yeah, I hope not, but that's the way things are usually in Scottish football. So that's it, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed it. It's just some of my thoughts and a bit of a preview of the Europa League qualifying second round. I'll see you soon.